everybody, welcome back to my creative space. This is still my creative space that I welcome you to each week, but I am in the process of some big changes, as you can see behind me, and I'm going to share a little bit with you what I'm going to do in this particular bit here. I'm moving furniture around, I'm getting rid of furniture. Later in the year I am going to be downsizing to a very different arrangement, and this is kind of preparation for it, if you like. It's the next sort of shove of clearing out, sorting out, deciding on what exactly it is I'm going to be doing going forward in time, how I'm going to be focusing my energies and my creativity, because I feel as though there's so much happening, isn't there, on the planet. There's a lot of big changes going on. There's changes happening in my life, and I'm very excited about it because it represents the new, and it's kind of an opportunity to look at what I've been doing, look at what I really want to be doing, and see how that's all going to match up together. So this is kind of preparation, even to the extent that I have taken these are my little chest of drawers, which used to have orange and yellow and purple, so they were all mixed up, and all I've done is I've taken out the orange and yellow ones and made them into an orange and yellow set of drawers, which I can show you, and I've made a blue set, so it's kind of calmed it down in this corner. So I'm kind of going for a bit of a blue theme over here at the moment. I've moved this lovely blue piece of furniture, which some of you may recognise from my early videos. I used to sit in front of it and chat, and it had all sorts of bits of work on it. I've got my very big piece that was here. The big white piece is going to go probably to a charity shop or something, because it's just way too big for what I want to do now. It used to be a display unit in a shop. My very good friend gave it to me. She had a quilt shop. I painted it white. I used it in my open studios that I used to do, and that's just not happening anymore. My life is changing, and I'm very excited. And as I say, it's about focusing on what I want to do. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of what I'm going to do here, and then we'll see what happens. It's just lovely to have you here. I wouldn't be doing any of this without you. I love making the videos for you. I hope you enjoy them. Please do subscribe. Please do leave a thumbs up if you like the videos that I give you. If you've got any suggestions, if you've got any comments, please do leave them. I love to chat to you. This is really important. This community here is really important to me. I have my real life community with my Fabricate group, and that's wonderful, but actually this one is super important to me as well, because this has kind of really got my creative juices going here, guys. Honestly, making these films for you, fiddling about in my studio, showing you what I'm doing and chatting to you. It's just wonderful. I'd love to meet you all in person. I'd love to fit you all in here, but it would be a heck of a squeeze now. I can't believe how it's grown. I've been doing this about 4 years now, which seems extraordinary. I never would have dreamt I would be on YouTube in all my wildest dreams. So here I am, still here I am. So I'm going to show you some bits and bobs. We might do some creating. I'm not quite sure where this is going to go, but we're going to start off, and it's just lovely to have this time with you here. It's very special to me. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me here. And let's get on and see what's going to happen. So what I've got here on this unit behind me is these little boxes. They're ever so useful. I've had them for many years. I've taken them to many shows. They've been in open studios. I've taken them as display things to many places. They're ever so useful, and I keep them because I love them. And what I'm going to do today is just a bit of arranging of some of my work on here. It's lovely to have a freshen up, don't you think? It's nice to have a fresh start and see what you've got, and see what you want to keep and see what you want to let go of. I'm kind of having a spring clean, I suppose. And as I say, it's got a purpose behind it of moving forward into a different space. So I'm just going to do some arranging, and we'll see where that takes us. So it's like all of these things, isn't it, when you spring clean and you take everything off your shelf, you create more mess than you really mean to. But I think there's something very cathartic, isn't there, about moving your stuff from A to B. I've been clearing out all sorts of junk. I found stuff from when we actually did this building many years ago. I found bits that the plumbers left from putting in underfloor heating. I've got loads of little cardboard boxes from the control units that we've got in a box shoved in a corner that I've not looked at for years. So this is relatively mild, because this is actually my own work. And if you're new to my channel, this is some of my sketchbooks that I do. I'll just see if I can show you a little. This is what I do, is I put my work into little sketchbooky things. That's quite an old one. What have we got? What else have we got here? This is my pleasure and joy. These are my joy, these books, because they're full of my creativity, my notes, my ideas. Oops, bits that I haven't quite stuck in yet. Ah, that is so funny. That is so funny. Bits I haven't done, and I always like to put a really nice cover on them. You can see that. I like to fiddle about with things and do a bit of mixed media. So these are a source of inspiration for me when I get stuck. And they're just records of things I've done or things I'd like to do. So yeah, so these are going to go on here on my shelving unit. Let me just pick. So these are going to go on my shelving unit. I think they're probably just going to go in this box for now. And I've got more. So I'm not quite sure. Oh, I know what goes up there. I know what goes up there. It's just trying to remember where I had things and where I want to put things going forward in time. So this is another big box. This is another box of treasures, if you like. More little sketchy books, more fun things. These are lovely to look through on a rainy day or a day when you're just not feeling very inspired and you're thinking, oh, what could I do? And you just get things out and you start messing about. And if, again, as I say, if you're new to my channel, I do some videos on. I do some videos on doing these sort of sketchbook type things. So if you want to look back at some of my videos, there's plenty of them. Right, so I will finish off and these little treasures, that says embellish. I don't know if you can see that, whether the camera's going to focus on it. These are my sample books that I put my little fabric samples into. It's quite useful. It's quite a nice record again, and if you're getting stuck or you just want some inspiration, you can go and have a look at these and see what you'd like to do next. I highly recommend it. It's extremely satisfying to have these, I have to say, because it makes me think, ooh, I've done some interesting things, haven't I? They are quite fun. So these are samples using, as I say, my embellisher. So I highly recommend doing these sort of things. It's very satisfying, and as I say, on a rainy day you can sit and look at them. I think it's very important that you admire your own brilliance sometimes, that you admire what you've done instead of sitting there going, oh, this is awful, this is rubbish. You put it in a book and it suddenly takes on a bit of importance and becomes something interesting. And I highly recommend you applaud yourself for everything that you do. So my thinking is to put things like this up on here that I used to have on my white unit. This is a fantastic hat that I made many years ago, and it's all kind of quilted and it's got embellished bits and it's just a bit of fun. It's pink, it's outrageous, it's loud, it's fun, and that's what life should be. Pink, outrageous, loud and fun. So let's put you, my dear, my lovely hat in the middle. Right in place, there we go. A little bit wonky. There we go. Right, what else? So this is a lovely little hat thing that I made many years ago it was for an exhibition of fashion from second-hand materials and stuff. So I worked with some students and they were all making outfits for a fashion show, and this is actually, darlings, it's a hat. It's actually really meant to be a hat, okay, but it doesn't quite fit my head, but I just made it. It's made from, what's it made from? I think it has some old fleece fabric underneath. It was a fleece coat that I cut up, and I did some lovely leafy designs on it just with some free machine embroidery, but look how it creates that lovely sort of relief effect on there. Very simple design. Don't you think the simplest designs are just always the best? And I love it because it's, again, favourite pink colour. So this is a very spontaneous sort of video, really. It's turning into a kind of show and tell. I'll just see if I can show you this with a bit. You can see the little swirly whirly bits on it. So it was meant to be like a seed head. It is meant to be a seed head. And it is made with soluble paper and some fabrics put in and stitched, and these little bits of curly whirly bits have got wires in, and it took me ages to do. It's all hand stitched up because I made it as 4 pieces, but isn't that fun? It just shows you what you can make. This is textile art, this is 3D, this is fun. Again, fun, not pink but fun. I can't tell you how much pleasure this gives me to do this. It's like, I feel like I'm in a little shop and I'm just arranging beautiful things in my shop. This is Emma's shop today. What you're seeing here is Emma's shop, and she's just playing and arranging things in her shop. So it's lovely to have you here with me. So this is just a little sample that I did. In fact, you can see on the back, it's just on a what do you call it, a canvas. It's just a little sample of some seed heads, and these are little vases that I've made, little vessels that have got stitching all the way around of seed heads. Again, very simple. So I just thought I would just have a little look through this book as well, because this has got soluble things in, and this is where I put my samples of things that I've made using soluble papers and fabrics. Now I don't really use this so much these days because I think it's actually made of PVA, the soluble fabric, but it's just, this is my sample book, and it's just lovely to look back at it and see all the fun things that you can do with just really using stitch. So there's nothing in these things but stitch and a little bit, perhaps a little bit of fabric in the centre, and you can make all sorts of fun lacy things. This is kind of, I don't know if you can see that because that's quite textured because it's white. And something like this where I've done the samples and I've left them so that you can actually, this is really nice to have, so you can actually feel and see the samples, and I write little things on them so you can see, you know, what I did to make these little samples. So that's this one, and then I've dissolved it, and that's what it looked like when it was dissolved. So it's really useful to have, and as I say, on a rainy day, it's lovely just to look through these things and go, well, you know, what am I looking forward to do today? So I'll just put that back on the shelf. I just thought it's so nice, isn't it, to look at other people's books. I used to love that, going around the degree shows in Carlisle and places where you go and see a degree show and they actually show you the things they've made. So this is, I just thought I'd show you this on here because it's easier to see. This is a little bowl that I made using soluble fabric, and it's just very simply done with stitch, but you have to stitch over and over and over because when you dissolve away the fabric there's nothing left but the stitch, so you have to make sure each thread crosses every other thread, and you can make these beautiful little shapes. But as I said, I don't really use it so much these days because it's made with PVA and I'm a little bit chary about using it. This again is a little butterfly that I made as a series of butterflies. There's a couple of them here, and again they're made with soluble fabric. But it's the idea of them and the colours of them and putting them onto colourful, cheerful backgrounds. I mean, it's, you know, something pretty to have on your wall, something cheerful. And what's left in the bottom of here is something very old, and I'll just get this little box again, this little piece of wood again to show you because they're very tiny. These are a little tiny pair I'll get them in focus. A little tiny pair of baby shoes that I made. They're not real baby shoes, they're not meant for a baby, but again they're made with soluble fabric, so they're very delicate, very dainty. Whoops, so delicate, I've just dropped it on the floor. So delicate, so dainty. Let me just pick that one up. I don't really want it on the floor. But they're so cute, and I had such fun. Things like this I really love to make because they're a little bit of a challenge. They're not just stitching flat on some fabric, they are actually creating something 3D that's a bit of a challenge to think about how to actually make it. So they're really cute, aren't they? So let's just put this in its little corner shelf here. This little bowl can go on there like that. Here we go. Nice and snug. I'm just putting a little block into this little box, and I've got the little baby shoes here. I'm just going to pop those in there. And then we'll put the little butterfly onto the block like that. And then up here, this is simply a piece with soluble fabric again, a little circles of fabric put in. What I love is how neatly it goes onto the back here, just simply stapled onto the back of a canvas. And I love this sort of chunky look that you get when you put the work right around the edges. I think it looks really good. And then we've got a little butterfly to go in there next to that one. So I'm getting there, you can see I'm getting there, and I'm having such a lovely time. I think it's so important, whatever you've got at home, kicking about the place, if it's something you've made, celebrate it, put it together with other things, make a little corner of the room your space where you put your things and enjoy them and appreciate them. Even if they're not finished, put them out there, look at them, see them, touch them, because otherwise they get forgotten, don't they, and get put in boxes and hidden in a cupboard, and you don't see your brilliance. So I say get it out and show it off. So I'm just going to put this up here. This is a piece, if I show you it, I don't know if I can show you it reasonably. It probably needs to be seen on the wall. I'll show you this on the wall, I think. We'll just put this piece up here. Really, like everything, it's a work in progress, isn't it? I've got lots more I would like to do. I've got loads more to fit in. If you see all the mess behind the camera, you would be shocked. I'm sure you'd be shocked. But no, what I'm doing is I'm focusing on one small area, making it really lovely so that I can really enjoy myself down here and get on with my making, whilst at the same time I'm clearing out and sorting out other stuff and dealing with grotty things, really grotty things. So I hope this little video, it comes to you with love from me. I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little bit of some of my stuff. It's really lovely to show it because people don't come in here so much now. I don't do open studios, and I think all art needs some kind of an audience, so you get some feedback. It's lovely to show people stuff, isn't it, that you've made and get some feedback. So I will look forward to seeing you again in my creative space next week. I don't know what it's going to look like by next week, who knows, hopefully a lot tidier. And thank you so much for joining me here again today, and it's a bye from me for now. Have a wonderful creative week, whatever you're doing.
Ba ba da ba da ba da ba ba.